Right. So you drove from Harlow in Essex to Middlesbrough to protest against black people and Asian people. Basically all non-white people is what you're saying.
Yeah, because they're the main issue.
Before we jump in, tell me where you're tuning in from. And remember to like and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. All right, let's set the scene for what you're about to hear. Because this call is one of the clearest windows into the mindset driving so many of these so-called protests. In this clip, a man phones Tom Swarbrick, absolutely furious, bursting with anger, and proudly announcing that he drove all the way from Harlow in Essex to Middlesbrough, not for a football match, not for a family visit, but to protest against Asian and black people. He says it openly, without hesitation, as if it's the most normal thing in the world. And that's exactly why this call matters, because it shows you how some individuals have convinced themselves that their rage has a noble purpose, when in reality it's nothing more than racial hostility wrapped in the language of defending the country. Doesn't talk about policies, he doesn't talk about laws, he doesn't talk about facts. Instead, he talks about people, real people, as if they're the problem purely because of the color of their skin. And you'll hear the way he frames it. He genuinely believes he's doing something heroic by traveling across the country to stand against communities who have done nothing to him personally. It's anger without thought, blame without evidence, and emotion without any connection to reality. That's what makes this clip so revealing. It shows how quickly fear can turn into prejudice when someone is looking for a simple target to blame. So in this video, we're going to listen to this exchange unfold, and you'll see how Tom responds, calmly, logically, asking the questions that expose the shaky foundations beneath this caller's worldview. And once the clip is done, I'll share my full breakdown on why conversations like this tell us far more about society's deeper frustrations than the caller himself realizes. Let's get into it.
First time caller in Harlow. Gary, you were involved?
Yes, mate, I'm involved.
Talk to me about where and when and how.
Middlesbrough. I went up there, I travelled up there from Harlow in Essex, where I'm originally from. So I travelled up there to see, to actually demonstrate my problems of why all this is going on. That's the problem.
Right, you drove?
Yeah, I drove up there, yeah.
You drove from Harlow to Middlesbrough and back to take part in the protest?
Yes.
Right, and what is it that you wanted to protest against?
Basically all the boats coming in, all the immigrants coming in, causing problem, causing grief. That's what I'm protest about. That's what I'm fed up of, really.
Which people are you thinking of when you go on these protests?
Asians.
Asians?
Yeah.
Right, so all Asians are who you're thinking of when you think of the people causing all the problems, all the immigrants?
Asians and black people.
Right, so you drove from Harlow in Essex to Middlesbrough to protest against black people and Asian people. Basically all non-white people is what you're saying?
Yeah, because they're the main issue.
All non-white people are the main issue?
Well, from what I'm seeing.
What are you seeing? Because from where 99.9% of the rest of the country is seeing, all black people and all Asian people are not the issue, Gary.
Well, from what I'm seeing, from the problems that's going on from South, look at Southport, look at the Manchester airport incident, you know, who's starting all the grief?
And the colour of their skin is what you think is the main driver of that?
Well, they don't know any order. They don't have any order.
And who's they? Sorry, the they is, again, all black people and all Asian people. And the black people and the Asian people who you come into contact with in Harlow, do you accuse them of being as apparently violent as the people that you've seen being violent who also have that skin colour?
No.
So it's not all black and Asian people then, is it?
No.
Right. So when you went up from Harlow to Middlesbrough to protest all black and all Asian people, you don't actually mean that, do you? You mean something else.
Well, that's what I mean. Those are the main culprits.
Of what?
That's what I mean.
The main culprits of what?
Causing a lot of grief.
And there are no white people who have caused a lot of grief? Like, for instance, the people going to protest in some parts of the country like Middlesbrough?
Well, they're just protesting their anger.
But again, sir, they're also causing a trouble, aren't they? Those white people protesting their anger. They're also burning shops, looting, kicking people's heads in, throwing bricks at the police, aren't they? So are they also causing trouble?
Yes.
Right. So it's not just that non-white people cause all the trouble. We agree that white people cause trouble too, don't we?
Yes,
So
we do, yeah.
what did you drive up from Essex to Middlesbrough to do again?
To demonstrate my anger towards what's going on with a lot of the immigration rules. A lot of immigrants are coming in on the boats, and predominantly they're coming in from Middle Eastern Asian countries.
But why do you need to make this an issue of skin colour, Gary, when you've just come on the radio to agree that, of course, not all black people cause problems, or all Asian people, and indeed some white people cause problems too? Why do you need to make it about skin colour?
I'm not making it about skin colour, but they're projecting the wrong image.
You rang up and said the reason you went on this protest is to protest against black people and Asians. All blacks and all Asians is what you said.
Well, 95% of them are problematic people.
How did you get to 95%, sir?
It's been proven statistics.
Where? Who? Show me. Tell me. You got in the car and you drove all those hours up to Middlesbrough to go and protest something that you can't evidence, for which there is no evidence to say they're 95% of the problem.
Well, this is what I've read.
Where?
On the internet, I've read it. On the internet, I've read it.
And do
problem after problem.
Do you take what you've read on the internet that 95% of black and Asian people are the problem? You take that as a fact?
Well, that's what I think. Yeah.
And why do you think that? Because you believe it.
Because look at Southport. Look who was the culprit in Southport. Who was the culprit in Manchester?
Well, actually, arguably, a culprit in Manchester was a white police officer.
No, but who started it? That's the problem.
And you know who started it?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Right, but that's also not proof, is it? Because there might have been a video before the video that you've seen, the conversation of which we're not party to because we weren't there. Gary, let me ask you this. Do you think you were born racist?
I'm not racist.
Because I think you are, sir, but I don't think you were born racist. I think you've grown into your racism, and your racism has led you to drive, in this case, from Harlow to Middlesbrough, to go and protest at something that is unevidenced and not true, which you agree is unevidenced and not true.
I'm trying to protect England.
From who?
From the invasion of illegal migrants. Maybe some people don't see that, but I see what's going on.
Well, with respect, I think what you see and other people not seeing I think people see what you see but don't come to your conclusions, Gary. There is a problem with small boats arriving. I think that is a problem, and that has to be dealt with, and successive governments have told you to stop the boats. But nobody, Gary, has said that the problem is all black and all Asian people.
Well, that's my view on it.
Do you ever think that you might be wrong?
No, I'm not wrong.
Right.
All my mates think like me.
Yep. There can be lots of racists.
All my mates think like me, and all my mates are prepared to do anything to stop it.
Are some of your mates Asian or black?
No.
Right. And when you come into contact with various services, the NHS or your dentist or your doctor or whoever, or the person serving you at the till in the shop, and they're not white, do you think they are lawless as others are?
I don't know what they're doing.
But they're not, are they? I mean, there they are holding down a job. In some cases, there they are attempting to save your life in parts of the NHS. God forbid something awful were to happen to you. You might have a black doctor, a black woman, black man trying to save your life. Would you worry about that?
No.
So it's not all black people then, is it?
No.
So why did you make it about race when you went up to Middlesbrough to go and protest?
Because, as I told you, what's going on, what happened, I made it about that because of Southport and the Manchester incident.
You use the colour of their skin to say all black people are therefore a problem.
Yeah, because those are the main problems that's out there right now.
But you also agree that it's not all black people, don't you?
Yeah, but as I said...
So how can those two things... I'm going to give this 30 more seconds, Gary, because maybe we're getting somewhere. How can you have two things that are opposite be true at the same time? It is all black people, and it isn't all black people. How can you hold both of those things to be true? Well, either it's one or the other. Which do you think it is?
Well, maybe 5% is all right.
Maybe 5%.
If that.
Right.
But the other 95% are wrong, mate.
And you get to the 95% figure because you read it on the internet?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Do you think you should be arrested?
No, for what reason?
Well, what did you get involved in Middlesbrough? You went around
Nothing.
charting, you went encouraging people, you were there to facilitate, to help people get their point across by chucking stuff at the police and what have you?
No, I had a plasterboard up. That was it.
What did your plasterboard say?
Get illegal migrants out.
Right.
Get our country back.
From all the black people?
Well, what else is there?
What else is there?
Asians, it's the Asians. It's the people from Africa.
Right.
Africas.
Okay, Gary,
What we just witnessed wasn't simply Tom dismantling an argument piece by piece. It was something far deeper. A rare moment where a man's entire worldview was gently pulled apart until the underlying truth was exposed. And the truth isn't that his logic was flawed or that his understanding of immigration was inaccurate. The real revelation is why he believes these things so fiercely, even when every part of the narrative collapses in front of him. Because for people like this caller, the racism isn't just ideology. It's not even the main point. It's the mask they put on their anger, a convenient uniform that gives shape to emotions they can't explain any other way. On the surface, it looks like a conversation about race, about immigration, about who is causing problems. But underneath, it's the story of someone who feels powerless, ignored, and left behind by a country that promised far more than it delivered. Think about the moment when Tom corners him with simple logic. Would you refuse treatment from a black doctor trying to save your life? This is the kind of question that forces any reasonable person to stop and reflect. But he doesn't stop. He doesn't reflect. He panics, doubles down, and insists that most black people are the problem. Even though, moments earlier, he admitted he trusts the ones he knows in real life. That contradiction isn't just ignorance, it's fear. Because if he lets go of the racism, he has to confront the real, much scarier sources of his frustration. A community in decline, a lack of opportunity, a political system that hasn't helped him, and maybe even his own life circumstances. It's far easier, emotionally and psychologically, to aim blame at a visible target than to confront the structural and personal issues that are genuinely shaping your life. Blaming migrants, blaming black and Asian communities, blaming the outsiders gives him a sense of control. It gives his anger a direction. It gives his helplessness an outlet. And that is exactly why racist narratives spread so easily. They offer very simple explanations for very complicated problems. And of course, social media pours petrol on that fire. Everything he believes, every number he quoted, every fear he expressed, it all traces back to something he read online. Not research, not statistics, not lived experience. Just a meme, a post, a rumor designed to confirm the anger he already carries. He wasn't searching for truth. He was searching for validation. An online community that would reassure him his frustration was righteous and give him a clear enemy to blame. That's how this poison works. It preys on confusion, on pain, on loneliness. What we heard wasn't a political argument. It was a cry for help wrapped in hostility, a man drowning emotionally, clinging to the only explanation that makes him feel like none of this is his fault. And this pattern isn't limited to callers like him. You see it in the rhetoric of figures like Nigel Farage and others who thrive on grievance and rejection. They, too, turn personal bitterness into political vendettas, weaponizing resentment into a public crusade. The pattern is the same across the spectrum of authoritarian and far-right movements: anger without introspection, blame without evidence, and certainty without understanding. Tom won the logical debate, effortlessly. But the real tragedy is that logic alone won't reach someone like this. His beliefs are not built on facts. They're emotional armor, a shield against a life that feels increasingly narrow, increasingly unstable, and increasingly humiliating. And that's what makes this such a complex challenge for society. It isn't about refuting bad ideas, it's about addressing the desperation that fuels them. So what do you think? What stood out most in this exchange? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a future video. Thanks for watching.